You've been learning Spanish and you've been struggling and you just can't figure out why it's not sticking. I'm here to tell you it's not your fault, right? It's not your fault. You're not the problem. The problem is old traditional learning methods, right? So I remember learning Spanish in high school. We had this teacher. Oh, this dude was such a dick. I hated this dude, right? I was like coach. I don't even want to say his name. Fuck him. But like he really didn't even speak Spanish that well. But I think he was like the only person. He was like the soccer coach. Like he might have played like soccer in like El Salvador or something. So he might have picked up a little Spanish. But knowing what I know now, he didn't know shit. But this dude was so terrible as a teacher. Now I don't know. You might have had a better teacher, but I didn't. I did not have a better teacher. This dude was so awful. He didn't teach us anything. He just gave us a bunch of stuff to memorize. Some conjugations here and there. But like, not only was it like, I mean, it could have, you know, the material in it itself isn't that great, but like him being a teacher was just even worse, right? So it was like already that, I didn't like the dude, I didn't like the class, but I wanted to learn Spanish bad. And, just things like that was like really bad for me. I didn't do good in Spanish. I think I had like, I don't know if I had a C or a D, I can't remember, but it wasn't that great, right? And those experiences kind of like stick with us as we get older. So we start to say things or I said like, oh man, I wasn't good at Spanish in high school. No, no, your Spanish high school wasn't shit. That's that's the problem. Like it wasn't you, it wasn't because of the grades you made. Fuck a grade. Who cares about an A in Spanish? I know people that made A's in Spanish, they can't speak like me. I know people I know people that have doctorates in language like Spanish in the Spanish language, don't speak it like me. Cannot speak it like me at all. Right? And why is that? Why is that? Why is it that people go to school, get A's in Spanish, but me, a D plus C minus Spanish student, can speak Spanish fluently? I can go to any country, any Spanish speaking country in the world and talk. I can make friends all across borders. I can do business in Spanish. I can buy a house in Spanish. I can understand Spanish media, music, movies, TV shows, books, magazines, newspapers. Why is that? Why is it that I'm able to do this and they aren't? Why is it that when I speak Spanish to people, they're so mesmerized, right? They can't believe it. I'll tell you why. It's because I had a Spanish learning system. Now, at the time, I didn't really know what it was. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just I realized what I needed to do. I needed to speak Spanish. I needed to stay engaged. I need to stick with it. So I just found ways to keep myself engaged and also ways to track myself, how I'm learning and what I need to improve and my deficiencies, right? And there was no material out there that did this. None. There was nobody. There was no book. There was no workbook. Rosetta Stone wasn't doing shit for me. Duolingo didn't do nothing for me. There was some YouTubers that was I don't want to mention them here or anything like that because they're not paying. But there was some that were cool, but like it still was lacking in certain areas that I needed, right? So what I just did was I just got out there and I just started talking to people, right? And now I know what to do when I talk to people. That's what I teach in the Spanish learning system I have. Link in the description box below. But now I know what to do, how to engage with people, what sentences to build, how to immerse myself. And if I'm not understanding something, I know what I need to do to better myself in that regard. So you're not struggling, and it's not your fault. This is not a personal objection. This is not a personal thing on you. You're not the problem. The problem is this old archaic learning methods that we've been taught. You know, I forgot it's like I think memorization is like the lowest form of learning. I'm gonna put the pyramid up here, but it's like I know the best is by teaching, and the second best to learn something is actually doing. So what that means is to learn Spanish, you have to actually do it. And what do we want to do the most? We want to speak Spanish, right? So forget all the flashcards, forget all the vocabulary lists. The vocabulary. Oh, memorizing a million words of Spanish because you probably don't even know all the words in English either. So remove all that and get right to speaking. Right, so that's what you got to do. You got to get right to speaking. Remove the friction. No more writing. No more flashcards. None of that memorizing shit. You got to familiarize yourself with the patterns, the flow state of speaking Spanish, and also repetition, right? Because I mean, I still make mistakes in Spanish, right? There's mistakes I made. There's words I don't know. There's things I have to ask, they have to look up. I mean, it comes apart with it. I do that in English too. I have to look up words in English. So why would it be any different in Spanish? I stumble on words in English. Why would it be any different in Spanish? So just remove all that, right? Remove the perfectionism. Remove not thinking that you have to just, oh, I gotta be perfect. I gotta get an A. I gotta get 100% on this. No, ain't no 100%. Shit, in this world, I mean, shit, trying you get it, you get it for effort. Just put if you put in the effort and you have the right system in place to build upon all your small wins to keep stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking and stacking to the point that you don't even need the material anymore. And now the world is your classroom, and now the people are your teachers. That's that's the sweet spot. That's where you want to be. Who cares if you got an A in Spanish in college? Can you speak Spanish now? If you watch this video, you probably, I mean, I don't know, you probably don't, right? If you watch this video, that's what I'm talking to people who are trying to speak Spanish. So if you like me and you didn't do good in Spanish in high school, you probably did better than me. But if you like me, if I could do it, why can't you? It's because it's the method, right? It's the method that we learn. Those methods they're outdated, man. They're outdated. You need a system. You need a new learning system. And you know the funny thing about it is that when you don't even really know when it happens. I just want to say that real quick. When you actually start learning Spanish, you don't like it just happens. It's like a I don't know. I don't want to say magic because I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to like put that on here, but it's like it almost feels like magic because like once it clicks, once you like hear a conversation, you're like, whoa, shit, hold on, wait a minute, I understood that. Or you're in a situation like a high emotional situation and you need to speak Spanish and you just put something out there that's understandable and it gets what you not. I'm not saying nothing perfect like you sounded like the president of Colombia, Mexico. I'm not saying you're gonna sound like that, but you say something that's gonna be like, oh shit, whoa, hold on. Like I remember, I'll give you an example. I remember one time I was on a bus and this kid, he was he was Hispanic, and he was like leaning on me. Like I don't know, he was like talking with his friend. He just kept leaning on me. Like he just kept leaning on me. Like he just kept leaning. Like he just kept leaning on me. And I was like, hey, estás bien? That's all I said. I just two words. Estás bien? He was like, whoa. Like I mean, it was just I mean, he understood what I meant. It wasn't a long. I never say, man, get up off me, dog. Hey, why you keep leaning? All I said was, you good? I just said, estás bien? And he just, whoa. He stopped leaning on me. He definitely stopped leaning on me. But that's what I'm saying. It wasn't even that's what I'm saying. You don't need to think that you need to speak in these elaborate lecture type conversations, man. Sometimes less is more. Less is more. And what did that was that Jay-Z song? He was like, less is more, my niggas, plenty of us. A lot of times less a lot of especially with Spanish, less is more. Right? You don't need to know a million bajillion gazillion words and all these things like that. You just need to just get, just learn that. So yeah, I mean, just y'all, it's not you. It's a system. It's what we've been taught. We've been brought up in. You need a Spanish learning system. If you're ready to learn Spanish, you're tired of struggling, you're tired of wasting money, you're tired of wasting time, go into the link in the description box below. Get my Spanish learning system. Get on the journey. I want to help you. I want to see what you can become. I want you to be a world builder, be bilingual, and I want you to change the world, man. Let's change the world together, y'all. It's your boy Lou, man, signing out. Peace.